Hi, we're back for Chapter 7, Part 2. And this isn't really difficult since we're only dealing with one main item, the sigma suffix, and what I call the hidden sigma suffix. And yes, the suffix can hide. So let's get started here. Future tense, Part 2. With the addition of the sigma suffix to consonants, there can be a shift of letters with the addition of the sigma. The sigma can hide. Let me show you what I mean. Now, take a look at the letters here and sound these out to yourself. These are letters that you say with your lips. They're called labials. Pi, phi, and beta. Anytime you add the sigma suffix to the labials, the new letter that you end up with is the psi, and this only stands to reason. The pi makes the p sound, the sigma makes the s sound, and you put those two together and you have ps, which is the letter psi. So, for example, below you see blepo, don't you? This is a labial. The stem ends in the pi. So here's the future, blepso. The sigma suffix is still there, but it's hidden. And that's parsed future active indicative first person singular. I shall see. Grapho ends in a labial. You add the sigma suffix to it, and you have grapso, I shall write. Another group of consonants here. These are called gutturals or palatals, and these are said in your throat. Gutturals. Say those letters together and feel in your throat where the action is happening. Kappa, gamma, and chi. So, for example, if you have the letter kappa that makes a k sound, and you add the sigma, s, you end up with the letter xi. So, kappa, gamma, chi, plus a sigma, end up with the letter xi. The sigma suffix is still there, although it's hidden. So we have some examples here. Dioko and ago, those are gutturals or palatals. Dioko becomes dioxo, future active indicative first singular, I shall pursue or persecute. And then ago, I lead or bring, becomes oxo. There's the hidden sigma. Now, down below, you'll see the verb fulasso. This is called a double sigma stem. These are called gutturals or palatals in their origin. So what happens here is that you have the hidden sigma still occur in fulaxo. You're not going to have three sigmas together in a row. And finally, we have what are called the dentals or the linguals. They're called dentals because they're said with your teeth, linguals because your tongue pushes up against your teeth. Say those letters together. Delta, theta, zeta. Did you feel your tongue move up against your teeth? Now, what happens here is that those three letters, the dentals or linguals, are assimilated into the sigma. In essence, they drop out. So, for example, we have baptizo, and what happens here? It becomes baptizo. Peitho, I trust or I persuade, becomes peso. Doxazo, I glorify, becomes doxaso. So we have those three groups of consonants that, with the addition of a sigma, undergo some changes. One other minor item in this chapter has to do with the future indicative of Amy. The verb to be, Amy is I am. Now, technically, this verb doesn't have a voice. That's why I'd simply say future indicative. Now, notice what happens here. We have S, am. So we have that basic stem S. Now, say the endings over here with me. Esami, essa, estai, esamatha, esistha, esantai. Now, what do you notice here? You have the stem S, and you have the omai endings we had way back in chapter 4. Omai, a, atai, amatha, estha, antai. So here's our memory aid. Here we have the future Amy with her indicator. The space helmet and binoculars will remind you of the future. And Amy has the letters S across her jersey, and she holds hands with amethyst. And amethyst here is simply a reminder of the middle passive endings. Now, a very, very important principle that I've stressed and will continue to stress, and that is the principle of looking at verbs from left to right. Don't start off with the ending. Now, if you'll remember, my emphasis with the present tense was to notice that we have a stem plus an ending. The imperfect tense that we saw in chapter 6, we had a prefix to augment, our stem, and then our ending. Now with the future, we have the stem, the sigma suffix, and then the ending. Now take a look below. We have three verbs, therapeuamen, etherapeuamen, therapeusamen. Now if we start off with the ending, we're in trouble. We know it's a first person plural, but we have to start to the left. So for example here, therapeuamen. Here we have the basic stem, therapeu, and then the amen. Stem plus ending tells us present. So present, active, indicative, first person plural. We heal. The next example, we have our prefix to augment, we have our stem, and then we have our ending. Imperfect tense. Active, indicative, first person plural, we were healing. And then our third example, we have therapeu, there's our present stem, but then we have our sigma suffix, and then we have our ending. So that's a future. Future, active, indicative, first person plural, we shall heal. Now we have opportunity for some practice. I'm going to hit my pause button and we'll resume once you've done your work and we'll compare notes. Well, how did you do? Well, compare what you did. Dioxusin, future active indicative, third person plural, they will pursue or persecute. Pempsita, notice the hidden sigma right here. Future active indicative, second person plural, you will send. Baptisamen, future active indicative, we shall baptize. Now here we have the assimilation of the zeta with the sigma. Grapses, we have another hidden sigma. Future active indicative, second person singular, you will write. Blepse, another hidden sigma. Future active indicative, third person singular, he or she will see. Therapeuses, future active indicative, second person singular, you will heal. And finally, doxaso, future active indicative, first person singular. I shall glorify. Well, I trust that this is helpful to you, and then you'll be on to some more practice. Thanks so much.